So in this video, I'm going to take you through the mistakes that I made when I started my fitness journey and when I started training. So when I started training back in 2009-10, so long time ago, I actually didn't know what I was doing, and there wasn't that many YouTubers, and there wasn't that many fitness models that fitness trainers that you look up to or you can learn from. There was only a few, so you couldn't learn that much online, so you had to dig deep, and YouTube wasn't that big around that time. So what I did was I just started training. I start watching YouTube videos slowly and look up things online, just to learn how to train properly, even though there wasn't that many around. But I did my best to learn, which took me a long time. It took me a year and a half to 2 years to learn the basics and how to lift properly, how to do proper form, and how to minimize the risk of injury. And made so many mistakes. Not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say that I was perfect, that I didn't make any mistakes, but I did. I learned from it. So in this video, I'm going to try to help some of you and explain the mistakes that I made, and hopefully it will help some of you. And over the years, I managed to get a degree in nutrition, and I did a personal training course and a dietetics course. So I've gained pretty good knowledge when it comes to nutrition, exercise, and health and well-being overall. So what you need to know when you start now, just new and you're a beginner, you have no clue what you're doing, is to watch videos. There's thousands of videos online. You can watch my videos as well. I'm going to upload more, and try to learn from these videos how to do exercises properly. To this day, I still see people in the gym, they're struggling with lifting weights. They're not doing proper form. They're injuring themselves. And they're not seeing any results, which is what you want to get. After all, like, that's why you spend in an hour to 2 hours in the gym, is to get a result. And I've seen these people in the gym for years and they still look like shit. They still look terrible. So why is that? Like, did these people ever ask themselves, like, why do they still look like shit? Yeah, I understand some of them, they're going to say, oh, genetics, and yeah, genetics play a huge role in your in gaining muscle, losing body fat, and your health. But that's not an excuse, because I can see you're not doing the exercise properly. You're not training properly. You're not doing the reps, the sets that you should be doing. They sit on the bench. They do 6 reps, lightweight. There's no balance on the, like, they're struggling with the weight, or if their ego is too big, they're lifting too heavy, they're doing 2 reps, 3 reps, and they still look like shit. So why is that? Did these people ever ask themselves? Obviously there's a reason behind it. Like, why are you doing 2 reps with with weights that are too heavy for you? Lower the weight, leave your ego at the gym, and do 8 to 12 reps, and do at least 4 sets, and do it properly. Do the exercise properly. Don't, if it's too heavy, lower the weight a little bit. Get someone to spot you and learn how to do it properly. And where you should be, like the barbell where it should be, and how you lower it, and how you're supposed to, like, feel the weight as it comes down, and as you push it, You're supposed to feel it. It's not just like this, you know. You should be feeling every single movement. It's not just moving the weights. It's time under tension. You need to keep the tension on the muscle. It's not just like, yeah, like this. I see these people doing this. What is that? Like, why are you doing that? There's no reason to do it. Except it's trying to show off. There's no other reason. You're trying to show off to people, oh yeah, I can do it. I can lift this heavy weight and yeah, look at me. I'm a big guy. But that's not how you get muscles. Lower the weight. Leave your ego at the gym. If you're struggling with the weight, lower it. And feel the reps. Do it slowly. Push and you hold it for a second and slowly lower it. You need to feel it. If you're not getting a pump after the sets that you're doing, you're not doing it right. You're supposed to get the blood flowing in there. You're supposed to get a pump. If you're just pushing like that, it's nonsense. Don't do it like that. Lower the weight and exercise properly. Learn how to do it properly. So that's one thing. Ego. Second thing is the number of sets, the number of reps, which I already talked about. It should be 8 to 12. 4 sets. Sometimes I do 5. Sometimes I do 6 sets of the same exercise. And I don't do too many. 6 to 7 exercises total. That's enough. It depends what I'm doing. But yeah, you need to, put your muscles under stress. You need to tear down that muscle. So when you go home and you're going to eat your protein, you eat your carbs, you're going to recover. And that's how you're going to build that muscle. So in the gym, we tear down the muscle, we break it down, we force weights on it. We feel the tension, we feel the blood flowing in there on your legs, on your chest, shoulders. We tear it down. And then when we go home, we're going to eat. And we're going to feed your muscles. You're going to feed it protein. And we're going to feed it carbs and a little bit of fat. But mostly, what you need is protein and carbohydrates. Because you've already spent a large amount of carbohydrates in the gym. That's if you train properly. You've already burned calories. You've already burned carbohydrates for energy. Remember, when you're training, when you're lifting weights, you're using your carbohydrates. You're using glycogen as your main source of energy. So when you go home, you need to replace that carbohydrates. You need to replace the glycogen in your muscles. It's not just protein that you need. You need carbohydrates also. How much you need carbohydrates and how much protein you need, I've already made videos on that, and I'm going to make videos more videos on it. So it depends on your type of body. It depends how much muscle you have. So it's different between people. It's not just there's a certain number. So you have to calculate yourself. If you don't know how to do it, I'll make videos on it. I'll give a recommendation how much you need for carbohydrates, protein after your workout. Before your workout, you also need carbohydrates because you're going to need energy to train. If you go in and you have no energy to train and you're basically starving your body. You didn't eat anything and you're going to go in and you want to perform good and you want to push yourself and get a good pump. You're not going to be able to do that if you're starving your body before you go in. You need to eat carbohydrates. Recommended 4 hours before, 3 hours, 2 hours. It depends what you're going to have. If you want to have a banana, if you want to have dates, apples before your training session, good. Have like 5 dates before your training because you're going to need those carbohydrates in order to perform in the gym. Without those carbohydrates, you're going to feel fatigue. You're not going to feel as good. You're also going to fatigue a lot sooner. So You're going to feel lightheaded, foggy, no energy, sleepy. You might feel sleepy actually. You're not gonna get a good pump, because remember, muscles are full of glycogen, which is carbohydrates, and water. So when you're pumping in the gym, when you're lifting weights, you need carbohydrates in order to get a good pump, in order to go into the muscle and pump it. Okay, so, and you need water as well. So when you fill it with carbohydrates and water and your oxygen going into the muscle, that's how you're going to get a good pump. And that's how you're going to feel good in the gym. You're going to feel better than as if you were starved before you went in. If you go in and you haven't had any food, any carbohydrates, you're not going to feel as good. You're going to feel tired, you're going to feel sleepy, you'll fatigue, you're not going to lift as heavy as if you were full of energy. I've done it over the years. I've studied this. You can look it up online if you don't believe me, if you don't trust me. But I've studied science. I'm a nutritionist. And this is all facts. It's all based on science. This is no nonsense here. I'm not going to tell you anything unless I know for a fact. So if you want to get a good pump, if you want to feel good in the gym, if you don't want to feel fatigued, if you want your performance to be as best as you can, you need to have some carbohydrates before you go in. And you make sure you do that 4 hours, 3 hours beforehand, before you go in. So these are the tips for today's video. I'm going to be posting more in the next videos. So stay tuned. Hit the like button. Subscribe. And stay tuned for more.